Lost my mind, now I'm feeling so fine, cause I finally realized I don't need you. I'm feeling sublime, and you're watching me shine, and you realize it's time I don't need you. Now
Welcome to another episode of Resources in the Valley.
Where you get your tools to make the most out of every day.
Hey, Imani, happy Mother's Day early. How are you? Are you ready for the weekend?
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to you too. And I'm ready. The funny thing about being a mother of littles is they don't know what Mother's Day is. So you get a big hug and and some scribble from school, which we appreciate. So that's kind of my Mother's Day is. However, I want to celebrate myself until they're old enough to do it. So, but luckily the big guy got flowers and it was from all of them. So, that's going pretty well.
I was going to say, I think children have to see a man celebrate the woman. My sons don't do anything, okay? My youngest told me he's not here this weekend. That's why we are back in my living room. Hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. Anyway, my house is quiet. There are no children here. But my youngest, he didn't stay here this weekend, and he told me, Mom, I'm going to get you something. I'm going to get you something. I promise I'm going to get you something. Now, see, Aiden, he might have said he's going to get me something, but it might also have to do with the fact that his birthday is next Friday. So he knows what's on the line here. He's a smart child. He's a smart child. Now, Najir, on the other hand, I know he got a card. I bought the card. I didn't see the card, but I know it was definitely in some pile of stuff that I purchased.
Not you buying it.
Oh, last year they didn't do nothing. I don't even know. I think my child said at the end of the day, oh, it's Mother's Day. Like, girl, so let me tell you something. Since I'm like 20-something years in this game of Mother's Day, and I have boys, and they're assholes, I went to get a massage today. That's what work did. I went to get a massage. I went to get a facial. I took my mom, and then we went out to lunch. And my Mother's Day is complete. I'm going to live in peace this weekend. And that's all I need. Look, them kids, let them kids dearly, but I am not holding my breath. If I hold my breath waiting for them, it ain't happening. I'm going to spoil myself.
Yes, I had to buy Ben something for graduation. And I said, you know what, I'm going to treat myself. So my Mama's Bear slippers. So yes to Mama's celebrating ourselves and not being disappointed.
So you do not, you screw that disappointment stuff. You understand? Just do it for yourself and call it a day, So it is what it is. I'm ready for a peaceful Mother's Day weekend. My youngest child who said, Mama, I'm going to get you something. I will see him on Monday. And that's that. Yeah, I'm ready to relax. I really am. So.
And you got what every mom really wants, which is uninterrupted nap time or just you time.
Tell them, say that again. That's all we want. It's for y'all to leave us alone.
Like, let me not be a mom on Mother's Day.
Let me not be a mom on Mother's Day. Like, let me relax. Let me not be a mom. Let me not have to think about washing clothes, cleaning the house, nothing. I was supposed to clean today. I'm going to clean actually tomorrow morning. Like, because, it has to be like creme de la creme. So I don't think about like, oh, this needs to be wiped down. You know what I mean? So, honey, peace. That's all I wanted. Peace in the Middle East. So what are we talking about this episode, Imani? It's been a while, but we are still here. We are still kicking.
Yes, we're talking about side hustles, and it's not so much, we're calling it an introduction to side hustles, but everyone's heard of them, especially with the whole pandemic where everybody was a guru. So it's more of an introduction to our conversation on side hustles. What are the pros and cons? What quantifies as one? Do you quit them if they're not as successful as you thought they were? And just how to gauge just your quality of life with and without them. I think that's what Resources in the Valley is all about.
Definitely. It's about making the most out of those times when things are a little tough. And honestly, side hustles are one of them. Like, um, I have always believed in side hustles, whether legal or illegal. However, all being legal now.
Pick me up off the floor.
I've always believed in making my own money. And, like you said, pandemic showed us that it's great to have a job, but guess what? Something might happen in this world where that job is like, you know what? We can't even have you come in. It's not even like we don't want you to come in, but it's like we can't even have you come in because of something going on. So, to me, side hustles allow you to always have your own money. Always allows you to have extra money coming in. People always tell me, Brooke, we don't know how many jobs you have. And yes, that is very true, because guess what? If it's on the table and it's feasible, I'm taking it. Because I'd rather those checks keep coming in and I don't know where they're coming from instead of them not coming in, because I've already been there, done that, and I'm good. I'm good on that situation. I don't ever want to be there again. So, you know what I mean? So this week we're talking about side hustles. Last episode we touched on business organization. We talked about if you had your own company or if you had your own business, the best way to organize. And not even necessarily organize as far as incorporation, but organize as far as organizing the things that you need to put in place to start your business and for it to be successful and run continuously over a long period of time. If you missed that episode, definitely check it out. It is available on all podcast platforms and available on YouTube. So, when I thought about side hustles, we think about all the apps and stuff that are available now. But I have to go back to the originals. I got to go back to early 90s, things like that. And the original side hustles that I knew about, my mom, she sold dynamite. It was Avon. It was, I remember back in the day, people used to sell knives. I forgot what that company was, the Sharp Knife Company.
Cutco, they got me.
Cutco. What was another one? Oh, it was a perfume company, the fake perfume company. So it was like all these things that people used to sell. Amway, that was another big one, Amway. Side hustles have always been around. There's always been a way to make money on your own or start some sort of business on the side, whether it's, through some sort of franchise like Avon or something to that nature, or if it was, you doing something on your own. And all of those companies still remain. All of them are still alive and well. And all of them still have, people, representatives out there that are making money from them. So now when we think about side hustles, we might think more about the apps, the applications that are on our phone that are quick and accessible, like Uber and Lyft, of course, one of the most popular ones. And then we have like Postmates, Uber Eats, Grubhub. Toro for car rental. What else? What others, Imani? I'm sure I'm missing some. There are a billion out there. But what others do you know?
Poshmark. They're countless at this point. And then there is always a copycat of their original. So
Yeah, no, it's literally like there are apps out there for almost anything that you want to do if you just want to do something or start something tomorrow, at a low cost and you know, find a way to make money, find a way to make some money on the side. I have definitely had experience with quite a few of them. I've definitely drove for Uber and Lyft. Um, I have rented cars through Turo, rented my truck. I have driven for, did groceries with Instacart and food deliveries with Postmates. So I've been around the block myself, and I have also been with the almighty Avon as well back in the day. What experiences have you had with those apps, Imani?
listen, too many. I mean, I will say I do love the change in climate of side hustles today. They're more widely recognized. You can find something that actually fits you, your personality. Um, if you're introverted, you don't have to be a front-facing, crazy flag-waving person. So I really love that. But man, I did Cutco. The job posting said you would be a marketing associate, and you signed up thinking, I ain't got no money. I'm going to be like an entry-level marketing person. And you get there, and they cut that penny, man. They cut the penny. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. And they got Nick, too. They got countless people.
I definitely work for Cutco too, and everybody.
Oh my
God!
And then so I did Cutco. I did the travel one. That was pretty cool. There was one I heard with utilities where you could be a middleman and basically when your friend pays their cable company, you get a cut.
Yes, there was that, and it was the solar one. I've been to like every meeting in the world. I'll always listen. I won't join, but I might listen.
Yo, my favorite, this is sarcasm, my favorite thing about those sketchy old school side hustles is your friend that you haven't heard from them in them long, like you haven't heard from them in months, years, and then how are you? And you're like, oh, hey. They ask me, you want to come by for coffee? Oh my God. You think it's going to be you and them for coffee. You get there, it's 50 people in there always. And then my favorite, you see mad chairs in the living room, and then you see a TV, and you see them press the DVD button. My friends and I used to look at each other like, man, they got us.
Like, you got us. You got us. The word. Certain friends that are gonna do it. Like it's like the certain friends that you know. You be like, what you selling?
And honestly, like I did one like coffee company or something, and I mean, I get the business model, which is those closest to you will trust your judgment, but when you have me write down 100 contacts and you have me calling this girl I haven't seen since middle school, it is so hard to figure out how to say, hey, I know it's been a decade, but do you drink coffee? Yo, but moving on, I do like this day and age.
The list. Woo, not the list. Oh my God. Oh.
Yes.
That was and it's crazy because that's where I got to in life. Like, if I gotta write a list of my personal contact that I gotta start dropping people off. I'm not joining. I'm sorry. Like I've come to a point in life I have helped so many people start businesses. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. Like there has to be there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way.
The worst part about it is, I don't know if this ever happened to you, but I swear, like, my ex and his best friend are the ones who told me to come because their longtime friend had a networking event. I come, everybody's like, yes, yes, swapping phone numbers and super excited. And they say, bet, come back Monday. Side note, why does every side hustle leader think you got nothing to do? Because they always say, come back tomorrow, come to this hotel event at 6 a.m. on a Friday. I cannot. Anywho, I come back the next day. Where are the friends that were so interested the day before? Girl, they dipped out. They told each other they were going to dip out. They didn't tell me. So, I mean, but like I said, that's old. That's the old days, okay? And I do like that if you just have a vibrant personality, that can be your side hustle. You can be a lifestyle mentor and leader. If you like to dress up, if you like to do pregnancy workouts or postpartum workouts, like people have made whole entire empires just off that. If you're faith-based and you love God, if you despise God and don't like to say his name, like you can be a beastly, well-paid blogger just for who you are or just for what you're interested in. And I do like I said, that new wave of depending on who you are, or I should say no matter who you are, there's an audience for you. And they want to buy things that match their lifestyle and their beliefs. They already want to do that, and they already do. They just get it from Target and Walmart and, Zara and Aldo and all these other places, but now they can get that from you. T-shirts that say, try Jesus, not me, like stuff like that, Shout out to Toby New England, but yeah.
No, but I wholeheartedly I agree. And the thing is, people are making their money off of, embracing who they are or being transparent and being who you are. And, maybe magnifying who you are and the things that you bring to the table. Like you said, if you like to dress, if you like to do this, if you like to do that, do it a lot. See if you can start a following. And honestly, I think that it's an amazing treat for the youth of today because it wasn't as available as it was when I was younger that it is now. Where you can make something of being yourself if that's what you choose to do, So it's a beautiful thing, but, there is definitely some stability in side hustles. Side hustles do not have to be your only job. There is time for side hustles. And it's really about you putting in time or identifying the time and what works for you. Everything is not for everybody, as you have heard me say many of times. So everything doesn't work for everybody. However, there is something out there that is going to work for you.
Absolutely. And I think one of the beautiful things about it is, unlike our 9 to 5 or whatever hours you may work, you need that, okay? You need whatever that primary income stream is. You need that. You can't mess it up. You need to be on time, But with side hustles, if I think I have a green thumb and I try to go buy and grow and sell plants and all my plants keep dying, I can just try another one, and we'll dive into that a little bit more today. But I think that the beauty of it is you can just keep trying, pivoting, doing all the changes that you need to do without endangering yourself, so to speak, or endangering your finances. And who knows, like people do side hustle their way out of that primary source of income,
is, social media has given definitely a platform to show you ways to start low cost side hustles. Because there are ways. Like I think it was my dad recently. He said, how many ideas do you have, to start businesses under $2,500? And I was like, I have at least 100. And it's because during pandemic, I was researching businesses or ways to or businesses that I can start under $2,500. Um, there are ways. There are ways to make things jump, and you don't have to do illegal things to have a side hustle. So a Resources in the Valley episode would not be a Resources in the Valley episode without a phenomenal woman of the week. And who is our phenomenal woman of the week this week, Imani?
We gushed about her, and she's actually a uh, honorary repeat guest, but for great reason. Miss Tabitha Brown. You know her, you love her, you probably follow her or know someone who does. I think at this point in our recording, she's at maybe 4.5 million followers on Instagram alone, and probably about 10 to 20 million across because her TikTok is even bigger than her Instagram following. And I mentioned her for a few reasons. One, just like Brooke was talking about with the power of social media, she drove Uber, and her lifelong dream was to be an actress. And as she was going to auditions and readings and everything else that she had to do, she was able to drive Uber in between because she still had a family, she's still a wife, still have to make money while you're pursuing your dreams. So she did that, and she always talks about one video. She was sitting in the car at Uber, and she ordered, I think, from Sprout. I think I had it. It was like a vegan BLT sandwich. And she ate it and she put her reaction on TikTok and it blew up. And then, of course, she cooks. So I'm sure she went home and said, let me make my rendition. Let me do this. Let me show you how I do this. Or I really want this product that is sold in restaurants, like the viral chicken sandwich. She would go home and make a bomb version of that with mushrooms. And everybody wanted to try it. We wanted to eat it, and she always talks about how just doing little things and staying consistent in the small things will yield a good harvest, will yield some good results in the future. And what drew most people to her, like we talked about earlier, was her personality. Anybody can eat a sandwich. A lot of people eat on Instagram. I don't know why, but the thing that makes you, your personality, your take on things, your life experiences, and your aura, what people get when they are encountering you, like that's what helped her to set everything off, giving life advice and so on. And now, starting May 14th, she has a lifestyle line. If you follow her, she had apparel, she had I think like doggy treats and a mug with her dog on it, Blackie Brown. He's so cute. But now she has a lifestyle line. And Brooke and I were talking off camera about how when a creative person, especially, our skin tone, gets into a partnership with Target, they tend to sell one product, which is huge, right? But you might find them in journals. You might find them in outdoor furniture. You might find them in clothing. You see a lot, especially in Black History Month. Tons of clothing, with people that look like us on it. But Tabitha Brown has really changed the game and opened the door for other people who want to partner with major retailers, because I think they gave her 3 full installments. The first one being food, the second one being food and like mugs and tea and popcorn, which those bags were empty in my house. And then now the outdoor line with outdoor bean bags, colorful speakers. In my opinion, they look like colors from different vibrant African culture, outdoor beach bags and totes and inflatable outdoor movie screen. I have never seen person of color with these products. So we are so excited for her launch, and thank you, Tabitha, for showing that you don't have to turn your nose up at side hustles. They're not something to be embarrassed about, or some people work for Uber or Lyft or whatever and don't want to tell anyone. You say, what do you do? I'm in between jobs right now. But what's your take on that, Brooke?
Yeah, no, we love Tabitha. It was Whole Foods that she had the sandwich from, and she actually got a sponsorship from them. I want to say within a couple days. But it just goes to show you to never give up and always be genuine to who you are. She always was genuine to who she was. She did not allow anybody to sign. She did not sign any contract with anyone who's told her that she had to curb her country accent. Um, I like her line in Target because it's her personality. It's bright. It's vibrant. It's not toned down. And a lot of times, just I'm an '80s baby, so when I look at how things have come along, we didn't have those options in any store, okay, whatsoever. I will give Target definitely hats off to you hosting many black brands because you all might have more black brands in your one store than any large retailer. But you've given Tabitha Brown the room to start multiple lines in your store and multiple lines in multiple sections of the store, not just the beauty section, not just the food section, but she's all throughout the store. Her line is amazing. Her products are great. And they're all of value and they're all of quality and they all represent us and they all represent her for who she is. So we just want to take our hats off to Tabitha Brown and leading the way and showing people that, it how it starts. Because guess what? She's always been transparent about how it started. She's always been, that one video started the domino effect, but then, people started, she was still doing her food videos, and because that one video started attention, so now people are looking, oh, well, she does food videos. Oh, well, she does healthy food. She never stopped. And she has pretty much been able to tap in to who she is and make her make herself successful with that.
Yes, we love you, Auntie Tab. Yes, and I think that's also just a good tip for anyone looking to start. Don't try to be your friend. Don't try to be someone else that you've seen online or what you read in the book. Be you, because who you are is the only thing that's sustainable. If you put out a product and no one buys it, but your friend put out, let's say, a notebook and people sold out of her products, you could feel disappointed and quit the whole thing. But if you put out things that are authentically you, you tend to have more creativity as a result. You tend to come up with more ideas. You tend to actually be less disappointed by things that don't go your way, because who you are is not going to change. It's like you have an infinite amount of energy for the things that you're meant to do and the things that you like. If you like rom-coms, you don't have to pay me to watch a rom-com. I will watch it. So if I have an event around that, I can have that momentum all on my own. And that's what you want when you're starting a side hustle. Something where you don't need someone poking and prodding you and calling you, did you do this? Did you do that? It's great to have that accountability within your networking, associates, but you really want to have things that you're interested in, passionate about, curious about, so that you can possibly do these things for the long term and have ideas about what to do if you need to pivot, but you're not trying to sell, a muumuu dress where you know your style is like runway fashion or something. Like stick to you, because then when you do your videos and any of your marketing, your passion comes through your content. But if you don't like it and you just Google how to sell muumuus and you copy and paste, people know, because we can just Google how to sell muumuus and see that you copy. So be you. Don't try to copy others. Be authentic so that you can really build something.
And be passionate about what you do. Um, you can work for somebody else, you can work for yourself, but be passionate about whatever it is that you do. I sell this because I feel like it's the best product and it really does help people. Whatever it is, being passionate about what you do and really caring about what you do, um, makes people recognize the high quality of your work. And then people also know how much you care about the service that you're providing for them, which creates your customers to come back, which creates your following, which creates your popularity and your success. So it's not only, finding what fits you, but what you're passionate about. What you're genuine about, not just I'm doing this because it makes money. Usually when we do things because it makes money, it's short term and it's in and out, and it's not something that lasts for a long time because we're not passionate about
I think another thing to really take note of is it's very exciting to look at side hustles. Like it's exciting to know that you could buy a website that's already making money and start making money off of it. Like you could buy a blog that is a profitable blog with X number of members monthly and make money off of that. Like it's just, we look like Mr. Krabs, with the dollar signs all on our eyes. But I think just going in with a solid value system is really, really important. There's a prominent speaker who talks about your hidden free time, where we say we have 9 to 5 and we don't have time to do a side hustle. And they recommend, well, what about, 7 p.m. to midnight, or whatever time to 2 a.m. And I think that it is cool to know that if you do put time in, you can see results if you sacrifice that time. But I think that some people can lose themselves in their financial path, and they're so focused on the goal that they neglect things like family or self-care. And they say that over the past 3-4 years, we've had the highest level of burnout in history, because I think there's this fear of scarcity to where it's like, I need to outdo my competitors, I need to outdo my peers, I need to outdo myself, I need to overextend myself to make sure I don't end up in X spot again, or whatever it is. And so I think it's really good to work hard. I think it's really good to schedule in working toward your future and being aggressive about it. But don't forget, your personal values. And the second thing regarding mindset is there's this huge anti 9 to 5 movement. I don't know if y'all were online a lot during the pandemic, but every week, especially around January, it reminds me of, is it the Rye? That old commercial where the guy would be on in between the Maury sets. He'd be like, look at you right now. You're sitting on your couch. Don't you care about your future? And he would just be pummeling you into getting an online education. I don't think that was the school, but Brooke will correct me in a moment. The point is, though, that people do that online to try to tell you, if you're at a job, you're living below your potential. And if you really wanted to be rich and financial freedom and find your fire retirement number or X, Y, and Z, you would get a side hustle and work your way out of the 9 to 5. Now, are you likely to reach millionaire status at a company? It's harder to do, but I really think that 9 to 5 Millionaire, I believe is his name, on Instagram, does a great job of talking about how, his name is Jamal. He was a police officer, and he remained a police officer for decades, long after his side hustles with real estate became super effective and super income um, driven. And he talks about how I have a family, I have a life, I have, all these different things. Not to mention jobs have, you want that pension, okay? You want that retirement. Like, let's not get crazy here. And he talks about how you should not discount your stability. Keep your stability and build as you go. And you can do both, and don't let anybody clown you for, oh, you still got that job. What happened? I thought you were selling cars or whatever it is on the side, What's your take on that, Brooke?
Keep your job. I did not keep my job, and I ended up homeless. And it's not even like, don't get me wrong, I have had my own company for well over 20 years at this point. And I really had kind of a perfect storm going on. But keep your job, keep your 9 to 5, keep your stability. Keep it. I'm telling you. There is a time that it will come where your side hustle will force you to quit your 9 to 5. And when that time comes, that will be the time to leave. Don't be in a rush. What are you going home to? To sleep? Are you really going to go home and really put that 60 hours into that job? Because I'm not, you have to put more than 40 hours into the job when you're working for yourself, especially the first 5 years. So are you really going to get up and do 60 hours a week into yourself? Are you really? Because 9 times out of 10, you're not. Unfortunately, people want to go home and they want to sleep, and then they realize that sleeping does not pay, that we cannot get paid to sleep. So keep your 9 to 5. Keep your 9 to 5. Keep your stability. I had, like I said, I had a situation. I had kind of had a perfect storm going on where I probably still would have left that job eventually if it wasn't me leaving them. I probably would have had to leave eventually because I had a lot of stuff going on at that time. However, keep your stability. I have helped people start businesses for years. I have had multiple businesses. I have started multiple businesses. Things go good for a while, then they stop going good, then they go good for a while. You have to be prepared for a rainy day. You have to be prepared that a rainy day might last a year. A rainy day could last a couple days or it could last a year or two. And you always have to have a backup plan. That's why I said now anything that's on the table, I'm taking it as long as it's feasible. Because I'd rather checks keep coming in than checks not coming in, because I have experienced that. And it is no fun. No fun at all. It was a very traumatic time for me. I can say I learned a lot in that time. However, at this point, they're going to have to drag me out kicking and screaming before I leave my stability again. Like, I'll be past the millionaire, and then you just can't come to work no more. You have a whole business and people that report to you. You can't come to work no more. That's how they're gonna have to get me out, because it will never happen again. Don't get me wrong. We live and we learn, and I've learned some very valuable things in during that time period. However, I will never put myself in that position again. So it's take your time. Take your time. People have asked me, yeah, when can I leave my job? How are you going to create stability? How are you going to guarantee that your bills are going to be paid every month? Have you written down what you pay every month? and made sure that you can cover that and some. 9 times out of 10, you haven't. So do not leave your stability. It can be done on the side. We do a lot of sleep time. We do a lot of fun time. We do a lot of waste time. So there is time to do something to make you some money on the side. And there is also time to still do things for yourself, still care for yourself, still have that fun, still have the health time, still have that downtime, but still, take those couple of hours, do something for yourself.
As well, that just something that's on the other side of working for yourself. Because I think it's so exciting, and people are like, congrats, and people like rip up and burn their name tags and uniforms and work clothes and all that stuff. But remote work or working for yourself can be very isolating. So I think that's something else to just know. Okay, so just be sure to remember that you want to build your network while you're still working, and then once you start doing remote work, continue to build that network with other people so that you're not like, woohoo, I quit my job, and then you realize, I saw this post recently, it said, when you live alone and realize you haven't said a word in 3 days, like that can be what remote is like, because outside of your clients or events, like who are you talking to? Everyone else, get this, everybody else is at their 9 to 5. So it's just important to know that you'll have to continue to develop and add to your network.
And one more thing is you have to motivate yourself too. Not only you ain't got nobody to talk to, but you got to motivate yourself. Like you have to be a self-motivator and be like, you know what? I'm not going to stay in the bed. I am going to get up and sit at my computer. I am going to sit here and look for new contacts. I am going to do phone calls for clients that I haven't heard from. I am going to do follow-ups on, leads of conversations that I've had for people that might be interested in my services. You have to motivate yourself too, and you have to constantly recreate the wheel. So the thing is like, side hustles are great, and honestly, that's the thing. Like these apps have made it easier where you can tap into something, or you can tap into a program or something that somebody else has created and kind of follow it, where you're not doing something for yourself, where you have to constantly recreate the wheel and stay on top of, advertising and all that stuff. But that's the thing. These programs are a great way of doing something or streamlining something, or maybe even creating a fund for a business that you want to start in the future. So like these things are they're values or avenues to use to get you somewhere, that you can use to help you do something else.
I got a lot out of this episode, and I'm so grateful for the nostalgic throwback and that we are past it. I literally, here it is. I have a scar on my thumb from washing my little paring knife. I washed it, dried it, was going to leave the client's house and cut myself. And the client goes, wow, those knives are really sharp. I'm like, ma'am, I need an ambulance if you don't get me a cloth. So I literally have a battle scar, okay? But
I would have liked to write down all the ones that I've done. Like, it just, even talking about it, just like brought some memories back from ones that I forgot about or whatever. But hey, you gotta keep kicking, keep getting it. Gotta keep trying, right? That's all we can do. So all of our phenomenal women are on our website. We have resources on our website. Anything that we have mentioned in the episodes are on our website as far as resources. If it is not there, I will update it soon. And all our phenomenal women are there with their resources and their own personal website.
Yes. All right. And with that, we are wishing all of you beautiful angels a blessed and productive week. And happy Mother's Day to all the moms.
Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, ladies. Hope you all get some time to rest. You might not see this until after Mother's Day, but we hope you all enjoyed your Mother's Day. And we just want you to remember that you will get through this valley too. Have a blessed and productive week.
Guidance given during this program are only reflections of our personal experiences and is not a substitute for professional advice.
Stay faithful, not hateful. I'm playful, cause he got me. He called me his angel. I'm flying to heaven. Just know that he sent me from heaven to flex you.